A warm welcome back to the channel. There's exciting news for the Airbus A321XLR at Air Canada, Westjet developments, and Southwest to cut jobs. Beginning there, they have announced that they will reduce their workforce in a bid to become more sustainable. The airline's move will focus on reducing 1,750 employees currently at the business, specifically really looking at those in corporate roles such as leadership. This amount represents 15% of the corporate positions currently existing, and it ranges from the likes of senior leaders to directors as well. Once these changes take effect, the airline will continue restructuring during this unprecedented period of change. The business is really overhauling its operation and trying to implement strategies to turn around its fortunes and cement its position as an industry leader in a really highly competitive space for decades to come. While the US carrier is one that has an established way of operating, some would lean on saying even iconic, Southwest recognizes that trends have shifted quite dramatically in the last decade, and what customers want from their flying experience is not what they wanted or expected 25 years ago. Therefore, Southwest needs to make relevant adjustments to make sure it stays ahead of its competitors. By reducing the workforce, Southwest aims to be leaner and focus on agility with a group of employees that are not burdened by simply having too many roles for the work being handed out and therefore not being as productive as they could be. These cuts will result in approximately USD $210 million of savings this year, but that will grow to upwards of $300 million for the full year 2026 forecast. While savings will be present, the airline is going to incur one-time charges related to the offloading of workers. Ranging from $60 to $80 million, it relates to the severance payments that will be required and also employment benefits for those that are leaving. While the job cuts are definitely part of the overhaul at the Southwest brand and the fresh developments that I'm bringing you today, many other changes at the business are taking place in the coming months and years, these already having been announced. For example, Southwest has said it will move towards assigned seating and also offering premium seating options across more flights it operates. This represents a step away from what Southwest has known for over 50 years, an open seating model that has been a key part of its identity. However, the US carrier says much has evolved since it first launched with this open seating model, and as customers begin taking longer flights, there's an appetite for seat assignment. Southwest will again look at those premium seats to offer extended legroom, raise revenues, and try and compete with your more big three companies in the country. The specific configurations involving the added legroom are yet to be determined at the point of recording. It is a design that is in the works and will be revealed later. Another change that is being introduced steadily is a 24-hour operation. That's right, Southwest operating throughout the night on red-eye services. The company knows that this will require adjustments in its workforce, but believes that these changes will allow it to have a better utilization rate of its core assets. That includes your aircraft. At the end of the day, they won't make money on the ground, so how does Southwest move forward with better use of this? That is through a 24/7 operation. Over to some exciting news where Air Canada has outlined its plans for aircraft deliveries in the coming years as it approaches the 2030s, including the expected arrival of the A321XLR. The Canadian flag carrier says it expects to take delivery of just over 90 planes in the upcoming years, and several new aircraft types will also be introduced. A lone 787-9 is expected to be delivered in 2025. Further evidence of the company's strong commitment to the wide-body series will be present from 2026 onwards, where we will see a new variant introduced, the high-capacity 787-10, which will help strengthen international operations across cities with a substantial amount of demand. Air Canada has long felt pressures surrounding its wide-body fleet. A significant amount of that pent-up demand is, they'd say, ready to be captured, but they don't necessarily have the available assets to make all of this possible, at least not yet. Therefore, delivering 787-10 jets will alleviate pressure and facilitate expansion. Air Canada expects 3 planes to be delivered in 2026, and then you will have 15 more over the following 3 years. Next, the airline expects to continue taking on the 737 MAX, with 6 deliveries in 2025 and 5 in 2026. Remembering that talk around the 737 MAX has been pretty hefty of late. That is because the group announced that that the entire MAX fleet will be transitioned towards the Air Canada Rouge division in the coming years. Meanwhile, 2025 marks a very exciting year for the single-aisle fleet, and that will be thanks to the arrival of the Airbus A321XLR, this being the latest addition to the European plane makers' single-aisle portfolio. Air Canada has committed to the XLR in numbers and believes this plane will be important moving forward, helping to strengthen its mid-ranged flying operations while alleviating pressures on existing fleet types and aiding streamlining efforts. The first 2 XLR units are expected to be delivered this year, permitting there are no further delays, with 11 more in 2026 and 17 more from 2027 to 2030, bringing the total to 30. Lastly, the A220 program will continue to play a massive role in the single-aisle operation, with this and the A321XLR to be the joint 2 most delivered fleet types in the upcoming 5 years, all being strategic investments for their future. Staying within Canada and sticking with some exciting news, Westjet has announced it will commence service between Halifax and Amsterdam Airport Schiphol in May of 2025. Enhancing transatlantic flying, they say, is pivotal to growing Nova Scotia's global presence and strengthening things such as connectivity and tourism. They will be committed to offering 6 weekly flights, with service to commence officially on the 29th of May this year. It also represents the first time that Westjet will offer service between Amsterdam and Halifax. It is a historic moment for the Canadian carrier, which is really only looking to continue growing its international network. For example, if we're comparing its 2024 schedule to 2025, your transatlantic seat capacity from Nova Scotia will now increase by nearly 100%. Specifically, it's 97. That is a really commendable jump, and according to the airline, should showcase to people that their intent is clear for this part of the country, to develop it and grow it to more international markets. While WestJet's new service is highlighted thanks to its long-standing code-share arrangement with KLM, well, customers can also connect onwards to other European destinations. Code-share arrangements such as these are crucial for adding value to both carriers and making travel journeys more seamless, whether ranging from the ability to book flights on a single ticket or even just having your checked baggage head through to the end destination. All of these things are aimed at increasing satisfaction levels, benefiting the airline and streamlining your flying process. WestJet will use its 737 MAX on service between Halifax and Amsterdam, highlighting the true flexibility of an aircraft like this, whether it is on some of your more short-haul domestic operations or even flying across the Atlantic Ocean on international legs. It really does show its flexibility, and exactly why airlines are favouring it for their long-term operations. For Amsterdam Schiphol, well, the ability to now have non-stop flight to Halifax, it represents the 6th destination offered to Canada from the airport and a new exciting way for Nova Scotia to be reached and surrounding markets. That'll conclude today's aviation recap. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Thanks for watching, take care, be safe, and I'll see you tomorrow for your next industry recap.
And we'll fly.